Hey, so we're back again. We're going to try this one more time. Tried to do it live this morning at the office after I finished up with a client, and the internet connection was horrible. So we're going to try this again here where we got a little better internet connection. And in this video, I want to talk about the brain, how it works, and something that we call the critical faculty. And it works kind of like a bouncer at a nightclub. So you've got a little bouncer in your brain. And we're going to talk about it and how the work that I do with clients actually helps you to retrain that bouncer. So imagine it this way. Your mind is a nightclub. And inside that club, you've got a crowd of people, which are ideas and beliefs and emotions and memories and behaviors. And some of those are dancing, and some of them are watching, some of them are spilling drinks, and some of them are causing trouble. And that club is where your reality gets constructed. That's where what you see and know as reality is made. And every belief that you hold, every habit that you reinforce, every decision that you make, it's all shaped by who gets in and who gets kicked out. And then at the door of this club, you've got a bouncer. And that bouncer is what we call the critical faculty. He stands guard there. He's there all day and he's there all night. And he decides what ideas are allowed into the deeper parts of your mind. He allows who gets in the club and who doesn't. And he allows what he should turn away. And that all sounds great, right? You've got this built-in filter to protect you from harmful, false, and unhelpful ideas. But here's the problem. Most people's bouncers are working off of old, outdated guest lists. They don't know what the truth is anymore. And this bouncer doesn't know what's good for you now versus what you needed when you were 5 years old. And the worst thing about it is he often lets in the troublemakers and turns away the people that could actually help. And when that happens, it creates chaos. So what is this critical faculty, this bouncer that we're talking about? Well, it's actually a part of your conscious mind that scans and evaluates all of this new information that's coming into your brain. Its job is to decide, well, does this fit with what we already believe? Does this sound true? Should I accept or reject this idea? And it has developed since around the age of 7, and it becomes stronger the older you get and the more experiences you have. And it helps to protect you from nonsense, from being manipulated, from false beliefs. But there's a catch. That part of you, that critical faculty, is biased. It defaults to keeping things the same. If a belief made it into your unconscious mind early on, even if it's completely false or harmful, your critical faculty will reject anything that challenges that belief. So if you grew up believing, well, I'm not good enough, or you grew up thinking love has to be earned, or you grew up thinking, well, anxiety, that's just a part of who I am, or you grew up believing food is comfort, then your bouncer is trained to protect all of those beliefs. He lets them in every night. He treats them like VIP guests. But when a new thought tries to get in, like, it's okay for me to feel safe now, or my past doesn't define me, or I'm worthy of love and of rest, then your bouncer says, that's not on the list, get out. And you can see what problems that could cause, right? The very part of you that's designed to protect your mind is often that part that's keeping you stuck. So what happens when the bouncer gets it wrong? So imagine this nightclub where this bouncer lets in thieves because they used to be regulars. He turns away the professionals because they dress differently. He lets chaos in because it feels familiar. It feels common. It feels like the usual. And he blocks peace and possibility because they look new. They look different. They're not the same. That's what that bouncer, your critical faculty, is doing. If you were told as a child that you were too sensitive, that mistakes meant failure, or that you needed to earn love by performing, those beliefs are what are embedded on that guest list. So when somebody tells you you're safe now, or you don't have to prove yourself, your critical faculty resists those thoughts, those ideas, those beliefs. It doesn't care if that new belief is healthier. It cares if that new belief matches what's already in the club. And that's why talk therapy and daily affirmations and conscious efforts sometimes feel like they hit a brick wall, because you're trying to reason with this bouncer who's been on the job for way too long, and he's running off of muscle memory. So what I offer is bouncer training school, so to speak, with the tools that I use, with hypnotherapy, with eye movement work, with tapping, with visualization. We get in and we work with that bouncer. We don't destroy the critical faculty. We don't try to sneak past that bouncer with a fake ID. We do something smarter. We actually talk to that bouncer when he's in a relaxed state, where he's not being so hyper vigilant. And in that state, your brain waves slow down. The tension in your body drops. Your guard, that bouncer, that critical faculty, softens. And it's not gone. It's just willing to listen. And in that place, that state where he can listen, we're able to update that guest list. And you can say, hey, I know you used to think that this belief was keeping us safe, but it's really causing us damage now. Let's let some new thoughts in. Let's reevaluate the regulars. And let's kick out the imposters that have been pretending to protect us for so long. You're not bypassing your defenses. You're actually retraining them. You're rewiring your mind. And hypnosis and hypnotherapy are excellent tools to help that bouncer be better at his job. So instead of blindly protecting old pain, he learns to recognize what safety actually feels like. Instead of resisting growth, he starts to listen for truth. So, how do you know your bouncer's letting the wrong people in? Well, a few of the ways that let you know that your critical faculty is misfiring is that you reject compliments, but you accept criticism without any question at all. You rationalize staying stuck by phrases like that. Well, this is just how I am. This is how I'm going to be. Or you fear peace because chaos feels familiar. You self-sabotage when things start going well in life for you. You struggle to believe any positive feedback or opportunities. You just struggle to believe they're real. And that's not because you're broken. You've heard me say that many, many times before. You are not broken. But this is because your filter is outdated. And it's doing its best. It's doing its best with the tools and information that it has. But the thing is, what worked in the past for you as a child, as a young adult, avoiding risk, pleasing everyone, playing small, might very well be working against you now. And that's why retraining your brain, rewiring it, is important. So what happens when a client comes to see me? Well, we talk for a while about what's going on, what they need, what they're looking for as far as help goes. And then we get a plan together, and that plan usually includes one or more sessions. And in those sessions, I teach my clients how to get into a state where your critical faculty is still present, but it's not resisting. And in that place, that space, we can allow your critical faculty to actually identify some of those old, outdated beliefs that he's been protecting for so long. That we're in that state, we're able to introduce some new suggestions and new perspectives so that you see things differently. And we can anchor some new emotional associations, create safety around all of these new ideas that seem so unfamiliar. And the thing is, we don't force anything. I can't force you to do or be or become anything. But we get that mind in that place where it accepts what it's actually ready for. And over time, that bouncer begins to recognize, hey, these thoughts are not dangerous. They're actually helpful. And it may think thoughts like, well, this emotion is not a threat. It's feedback. It's teaching me something. What does this emotion want me to learn? Or even letting go of the pain. It's like, well, hey, I don't even have to guard this old pain anymore. It can be released. And you become more receptive. You become more balanced. You become more in charge of who gets to shape your internal world. Healing is better security, not fewer doors. So some people try to cope by shutting out everything. They numb themselves. They scroll to distract. They isolate. They build walls. They avoid. But true healing doesn't mean fewer doors. It means just having better security on the doors that are there. It means having a bouncer who says, hey, we don't shame here anymore. Kindness, come on in. Unrealistic pressure, you're not welcome. Growth, hey, we've got a table just for you. And hypnosis and hypnotherapy help you actually rebuild that nightclub into a place where your thoughts work with you, not against you. Where safety isn't the absence of risk, but it's the presence of trust. So you can rewrite that guest list. Maybe no one ever told you you could. Maybe you've been struggling for a long time now. Maybe you grew up believing that this bouncer's word was law. Maybe you never knew that the thoughts keeping you stuck aren't facts. They're just familiar. But now you know. And you can start to update the rules. You can retrain that filter. You can teach that bouncer to allow in what heals and actually guard against what harms. Not with willpower, not with force, but with the right kind of access, with safety, with repetition, with this rewiring of the unconscious mind. And that's how I help my clients do that. Your mind wants to protect you. Help it do a better job. That critical faculty, that bouncer is not your enemy. He's just misunderstood. It got its training from childhood beliefs, past wounds, cultural conditioning, emotional shortcuts. But you can give that critical faculty better information. You can update its training. And through the different tools and modalities that I use, you can show your mind what peace really feels like again, what self-worth really sounds like, and what healing actually looks like. Over time, this bouncer starts making better calls. He lets in the right guests. He turns away the old abusers. He guards the door of your mind with wisdom and not fear. And that's when everything begins to change. That chaos fades, the crowds shift, and those internal worlds become the kind of place where healing doesn't just visit, it actually stays. And it stays for good. I hope you found this helpful. Thank y'all for joining me. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know if this helped you out in any way. If there's any topic you want me to cover in a future video, send me a message and let me know. I'll be happy to put together a video for that. Alright, looks like we made it through without losing internet this time. Hope y'all have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye.